gosh. It's another episode, A Journey to the Rise, with Chelsey Albert, holistic healer, and myself, LaCresha. Okay, I'm just going to dive in.
So,
All right.
I'm so excited.
I got a message. Oh, I'm making all sorts of noise about this Costa Rica retreat. There's mushrooms involved. I don't know, monkeys. I'm not sure what's happening. All I know is I'm going to first ask, why did you want to go to a retreat?
So actually, as part of like the whole healing thing, I got to keep doing the work. So, one of
I'm
my
so proud
first,
of you.
it's one. I mean, it's not a bad gig to have to go on vacation for work.
Right.
So, but yeah, I went on a retreat for the first time last year and I came back and I was refreshed. My burnout was gone. So I'm realizing that one, I am just that kind of person. I need to get out of town at least once a month. And that is at a minimum. I thrive when I am walking around new places, new scenarios. Yeah. So I have to like get out of my environment at least once a month. Otherwise I go a little so this particular one, I was actually really super interested in the mushroom journey that was advertised in it. And
Is that what was most appealing to you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
It's, I mean, Costa Rica was actually, okay, so weird story. Like 7 years ago, maybe 6, 7 years ago, I did a session with an energy healer, and she said, I just see you in Costa Rica. And I was like, okay, well, stick that on the map and, what have you. And I was like, oh, maybe, I'll go to a retreat center. Maybe there's some, I don't know what Costa Rica, but it wasn't especially on my map other than that. And my mentor who put this on, I knew her, I trusted her. So this was going to be a retreat centered on reconnecting to joy. So backstory on the deeper reason for why I wanted to go on this retreat anyway is even though I do what I do, even though I can, healers are not all 100% healed like that. Mm-hmm. You can't be. It's, if you are, you're about ready to leave the planet. We're all here to work out our shit. We're all here to just keep continuously growing. That said, what a healer does is we channel the unconditional love through us, so that while yes, it is deeply important that you're working with somebody who's done their own work and they've done their healing work and they've done at least, they've stepped into the world and they're continuing in that world. No healer is ever perfectly healed. No human is ever perfectly healed. So, and that goes for everybody. That goes for my mentors. That goes for the people that I mentor. It's everybody. But for me, one of the things I was really struggling with was joy had been disconnected from me for a couple of years, at least as far back as I could think. I could be happy, I could be manic, I could be silly, I could be goofy, I could bring smiles to other people, but I couldn't, like, it just never hit. It just, I couldn't access joy for myself, and that like deep content feeling just wasn't there. So when my mentor told me about this retreat, I was like, yep, okay, need to focus on the joy. And she said there would be a mushroom journey, and
nice.
I have never done any psychedelics. I led a very sheltered life. I don't really particularly enjoy doing any kind of weed.
Weed. Yeah, I've never done drugs, so I'm right there.
I don't. I never got really into that culture. I've smoked a couple times. It just makes me judgmental, and it doesn't make me fun. Alcohol is fine and dandy, but it's not something that I really flock to. I don't get home and say, God, I need a drink after work. And I'm grateful for that. But psychedelics have intrigued me for a while. At first, I was way too cynical. I was like, oh God, I'm going to have a bad trip. I know I'm way too pessimistic. Then I did a lot of healing, and I'm like, I wonder what it would be like. And I think hypnosis school kind of introduces you to this idea, because with hypnosis, you kind of go on journeys and your mind will take you to some interesting places if you let it. Mm-hmm. So I'd already kind of like, maybe okay, I could look at it in that frame. And then with this compounding feeling of I can't access joy, and everything else that I was doing wasn't really touching it, even all of the deep healing that, I was working with, it was still just like a nut that was,
Yeah.
that's why I decided to go on this journey and this retreat. And again, a Costa Rica vacation for work purposes and for healing
Right.
purposes ain't all bad.
Right? That's incredible. So, what was this experience like? Like, did you have expectations, or did you just go like with the flow? Like,
I mean, so I didn't have too many expectations. Again, I don't have a frame of reference for it. And let me tell you, I'm spoiled now. I can't just go to Bonnaroo and just like ask somebody if they have shrooms. No. I need shamans there. I need fellow healers there. I need sound bowls. I need
nice.
drums. I need
Yeah.
singing. Like
You're bougie. I love it.
It was all done in a very like kind of ceremonial way. I don't say
nice.
Yeah, it was different than just getting together in somebody's living room or getting together in somebody's backyard and saying, hey, which I understand is also another way of doing it, and you can get some really interesting things. But I went specifically for the mind expansion and for the neural rewiring. And so what I learned after the fact, or kind of like middle of the fact, is, well, not middle of the actual trip, but as I was kind of researching things once I signed up, psychedelics have a way of rewiring your brain, and they get different representation systems. So like they get your auditory talking to your visual, and they get your self-talk talking to your audit, and all of these things. And so what it does, and this is my neuroscience coming out, is when you do that, when you get the brain kind of cross-talking, it cuts off those thought loops that usually happen automatically and unconsciously.
Really?
Oh, I mean, yes, it was a very spiritual experience, but more so I could not only feel it rewiring my brain, but I noticed afterwards the things that I used to think about. Okay, this is, oh, I hope my boyfriend doesn't listen to this. But we're moving in. Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you. We're moving in at the end of May. Whole other episode.
My gosh.
Yeah. That requires some lone wolf Chelsey being left in the past.
Yeah.
But another story for another time. So I was finding myself driving to his house over, maybe like past couple months. And it just occurred to me a couple days before the trip, I'm on my way, and I would go my typical route to his house, and I would start thinking ahead of I'd be having these invisible discussions with myself over, okay, well, what about this? Well, what is this? And I would start imagining discussions we'd have when we lived together, when we look at each other and just go, why the fuck do you eat popcorn that way? And my brain had conditioned me that when I drove that path, that thought loop would start. And I would go the entire day without having any problems with Ryan. But the second I got in my car and started driving, all of these anxieties would come up. And it was a conditioning because I just had the time to think about it. And so what psychedelics do, come to find out, is they interrupt that thought loop. And they interrupt that, and it gives you space to think of something else and space to wrangle your thoughts back.
Really?
It's wild. It is. But just like for podcasty purposes, we're not advocating for anything here. See your doctor, see your psychologist, like see your professional.
Right.
Yes.
We're just speaking of our own experience and how it has helped the individual. This is not advice.
Yeah. Clear, throwing that out there. So what I noticed personally after the fact, and we can go into like the experience. It's still a little like I'm still kind of trying to integrate it too, but one of the big things that in a really grounded way, in a really tangible way, helped me was it stopped those thought loops. And some of those thought loops, man, I had been thinking for years, not specifically with me and Ryan, but just ever since I was a little kid, my problem in quotes, was that I would always get into arguments and not know what to say. I would either get the giggles or I would this. So when I was a little girl,
I do that too. Go on. Sorry.
So when I was a little girl, my adaptation was, okay, I'm just going to rehearse arguments and conflicts so that when they happen, I'll know exactly what to say.
I thought I was the only one who did that.
No.
Oh my gosh. What?
You did it too?
Yes.
Oh my God. So what I realized about that, because while it is very useful in our imagination land, and we think, look, how many times have you actually had that conversation that you played out in your brain now? Really?
Maybe once.
Yeah.
And it didn't go. And I forced it. I remember doing it as forcing that person to answer the way my brain had prepared them to answer. And they really thought I had lost my damn mind.
Right? You're saying, no, this went differently in my head. Like you were responding and you were doing this, and they're just looking at you like, did you rehearse this? Yes, I did. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So what I realized is that, like, that whole pattern that I developed since I was a little kid, kept me anticipating conflict, and it kept me in because again, like your neural pathways just kind of get deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like it's like the Grand Canyon. It just carves that pattern until it's difficult to climb out of unless you have scaling equipment, rock climbing equipment. So that was the biggest, oh my gosh, game changer that I noticed after the fact was those thought loops stopped for me and gave me the option. I now have the option. It's not like those thoughts haven't come up over the past couple of weeks. Sure. But I've had the option to say, nope, I don't want that. Nope, I'm going to choose joy instead. And I can actually click back into joy. It's easier to get out of that rut. And I think that's what I'm learning with integration too, is it's still all about choice. And that's kind of what it's all about with healing too. People go to therapy, people go to hypnosis, people go to drugs, or psychedelics, or even again, beneficial like ketamine. If there's no integration, if there's no choice afterwards, when the little old thoughts come back up, you're right back where you were. Right. So there's people that do ayahuasca every month, and they don't they're great. They're tripped out. They're expanded, but they haven't actually made any meaningful shifts in their life because they just keep going back to the medicine, and not making the choices.
And as we're saying this, it makes me think, how many people, because I know I have, how many people get into that, when you're talking about that drive and, the thought process, how many of us have done that for jobs we've hated?
Oh my God. I wonder how much road rage is actually just people who are going down the same path every day and their brain starts kicking up arguments with their boss that they think they're going to have. Yeah. It's wild. It's wild what our brains will do, and we don't even catch it. I didn't even catch it. I've been dating him for, we've been talking about this for a year, and I just now realized, my brain got in the habit of anticipating some kind of BS. Yeah. It was wild.
As you're saying that, because I'm thinking about the times I've had jobs I didn't like, they would start to dread them the night before. Mm-hmm. And then hate getting up, and then you're thinking about that dread, you said, the loop. You get into this loop and it's constant and it's just right there, and then it becomes routine. It's habit. It's now habit for your brain. And I just think about all the times I have gotten caught up in that. And how that serves as such a block for us.
That's really, that is how many. And the thing is, then what happens? We go into work and we're pissed off. Yes. So we're already spoiling for a fight. And then all somebody has to do is say, hey, would you mind? And you're like, that's it. This is it. And,
right. And you're already resentful.
And
you're choosing violence.
Yeah. And I can honestly, and again, I really hope Ryan's not listening to this, but I can remember times where I walked in already on edge because I've already imagined all of these little things. Oh, he's probably hasn't done the dishes. He probably, or this, or he probably, da, da, da. And then all he had to do was pay what I thought was a little more attention to the dog than me. Right. And I was like, that's, And it was, and I probably, oh, I hope he's not listening to this. I probably started more shit than I actually needed to. Like, yeah, we're in a,
Whoa, that's insightful.
it's painful. That's what it is.
It
It's
is,
painful to
but awareness is key, right? You're raising your own awareness.
uh, and
Because
it's,
how can you fix it if you're not aware?
and we're in such a time where, like, we're very, very pro, how do I want to put this? We're very, very quick to defend people's reality. Like, absolutely, like, there's been so much, for so long we lived in a reality, and maybe it was mostly women, but also I see this happen a lot with dudes too. Dudes get gaslit by culture just as much as women.
Oh, sure.
And we've been in such a thing where it's like, no, that's just no, you're being sensitive, no, you're overreacting, no, it's not really like that. We've switched gears, so yeah, that's helpful. But now we're in this state where we're so pro the other person's reality, and we don't question it, and we don't question our own reality because we're on the backswing from being gaslit, that we're like, well, I'm not going to question this. This is my reality. This is what I'm seeing.
Right.
Don't you dare.
Yeah.
If you're questioning me, then are you like trying to minimize my experience? Look, sometimes we need to question ourselves. It's not always. And
Right.
don't get into a circle of self-doubt, because believe me, that's another gremlin that I battle. But at the same time, this has been one of those exercises where I've had to look at myself and be like, son of a bitch, that was me.
Right.
So,
wow. How awesome, though, that you've recognized this. Because now that you recognize it within yourself, you're going to be able to recognize it in others and help them break this habit.
I hope so.
It's
I
very
really,
detrimental
really hope so.
habit. So
and the funny thing is, we're always so much better at catching other people's shit than we are our own.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, is like, I can tell when somebody's kind of like, when I need to sort of, I think the other thing is, I think the experience that I had, and the whole retreat was about surrendering control. And one of my big things, and I don't like to think of myself as a control-y kind of person, but when it came to the image that I had presented for people, I didn't like being vulnerable. I didn't like showing any kind of lower emotion. Yeah. So for me, my defense mechanism, and this is probably helpful for anybody out there listening to this who's like the class clown or the joker, I was really putting up a pretty hardcore front. And anytime that my emotions would dip into something that I perceived as something that would be unpleasant, I didn't want to be a downer. I didn't want to trigger other people with my sadness or my stuff. Right. The jokester would come out, and I'd add a punchline. I'd add some kind of little cynical comment, and you've probably seen me do this a couple times. You know me by this point. And just when things were getting heavy, I'd lighten it up, which is sometimes helpful for my clients, but for me, it was bypassing. And I think that the jokers kind of get left out of, we can tell when someone's bypassing. We can tell when somebody's like, no, I don't like being angry. I just, no, it's fine. I forgive them. And then like 3 seconds later, you can hear it in their speech, just the simmering wrath that's there. Yep. It happens.
Or when they leave, how heavy they might shut the door.
Oh, you're over it, huh? You're really, really good. Okay. It happens for the jokesters too. And a lot of my favorite clients, we have joked a lot through our session, but it's been but now especially, I think I'll be a little bit more cognizant of it in myself especially, but in others too. Yeah. Laughter and humor is a defense mechanism. And a lot of mask. Yeah, and a lot of class clowns, it goes under the radar. You know, when somebody is nice and pleasant all the time, a lot of people are pretty quick to go, you sure you don't, you like, you are just way too up here.
Yeah.
But everybody loves the class clown. And when they make a joke, people will just kind of laugh and the subject diverts. Nobody says that. You were about to.
Right.
I've got some very dear friends.
Look at Robin Williams and Matthew Perry. They're hilarious, but they masked their pain with humor.
And my heart really goes out to those people who are the comedians, because it goes so unnoticed. Everyone thinks that just because you're laughing or just because you can laugh through it, that you're really laughing through it. Check on your funny friends. Like, yeah, I know there's that meme, check on your strong friends. Check on your funny friends. Because I can tell you firsthand, being funny is part of who I am, and joking is part of who I am. But at the same time, when I am not feeling good, it's my most powerful mask. It's the first thing I go to. And, you know, I had to let that go this trip and had a really big breakdown. That wasn't even on the journey. That was just like sober in like day one. I'm sobbing with one of my friends who was on the trip with me, just sobbing, and she's holding me, and everybody around me just held space for me, and they didn't let me joke out of it until it was gone, until it was out.
Oh, that's nice.
I mean, that's also, I guess, the difference. I've never been on like a yoga retreat or anything, but the retreats that I go on that are led by my mentor and by people that, you know, I've researched, and that, you know, a healing retreat is meant to be healing. It's meant to be work, dude. It is.
Right.
Because I know now, are you planning some more retreats coming up, or?
For next year, yes, I'm mainly focusing on the Farm Girl retreat. I just saw a post of someone locally who does sound baths. So I want to reach out to them and see how I can incorporate that with this, because we're going to do the forest bathing and the sound bath, and just force people to just be away from. It's not just about being away from your phone. It's about I hate to say filling the space, but filling your time with nothing, so that you have to breathe, and you have to be, because that's what the farm is for me. Like, I can't be on my phone because my hands are dirty. Like, they'll be like, it's in my back pocket. Sometimes it's over by, the wheelbarrow or in my truck, because that's just, I'm up and down too much. So it's a non-issue. But then I'm filled with the sounds of the birds and the wind, and stop and watch something my mom and I would do. She's the one who implemented this in my life as a kid. We would go out and watch the clouds and find shapes.
Love it.
And so sometimes I'll just look up and find shapes in the clouds. But it's that forcing yourself to slow down, forcing yourself to breathe is what helps to reduce the stress, the anxiety. And my goal with this retreat is to help someone reduce that, learn that pattern, learn that habit. Because once you're able to reduce stress and anxiety, your internal body can start to heal. And now you're starting to be healthier. Your body can start to heal itself from whatever it's ailing. If you can clear the mind, your lungs, move.
And I bet you anything, when people do that, stuff's going to come up for them. When you get quiet, all of this, all of the brainy stuff, all of the thinky stuff, all of those voices in your head, the phone it's a delightful little distraction. That was on. I didn't mean for it to be. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to show him a blank screen. Nope, that was good thing I don't have any dirty pictures on my wallpaper. But yeah, what you're doing and the retreats that you're doing, it's going to bring up some stuff. It's not going to be just a nicey.
Right.
Here we go. There's going to be some deep work. And I would recommend for anybody go on on this retreat, on a healing retreat, on a retreat that's intentionally designed to challenge you a little bit. Because those are the ones that really, if you want to go on a vacation, you can totally do it. You can book a trip, you can lay on the beach all day. It's great. And you'll get some revival, but man, you want to heal your soul. Book with somebody and do something that's going to be out of your comfort zone.
Right.
I bet you're going to have such amazing results with the city women who are tied at the hip to their phone, who,
their life is chaos.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about that loop, that's their life, at least for me, that's their life. Like they get up, they're taking care of themselves or the kids or this or that and making sure the pet's taken care of. And then they're like, fuck, I don't want to go to this damn job, but you have to pay the bills, because of that damn Trudy, And so you're like, fucking Trudy! And so then, you're in your car and like you said, that loop is going and you're in the same routine and you're like, I'm supposed to be in this lane! Move it over! And so by the time you get there, you're fit to be tied. And then, like someone took your stapler, someone ate your yogurt.
A stapler.
You just want to get through the day.
Yeah.
Trudy used up all the paper at the coffee machine. She never replaces it. It's just like this.
I can feel my blood pressure rising with that. I remember those days.
Yes. And then you get back in your car and it's back to the thing. And then you're sitting in traffic and there's a car accident. So now that's a delay of 45 minutes. And you just want to go eat your mac and cheese or whatever it is you have, your vegan cashew cheese, whatever makes you happy. Maybe it's a steak and potatoes, whatever it could be. And then you're getting, taking a shower and you're thinking about the next day and how you don't want to be there. And my hope is for them to come here and you're out of your routine. There's no cubicle. There's no fluorescent light. It's just open air and chickens. And the reason I started calling it chicken therapy because I noticed like twice a day I would go up to feed them and I would feel better. But it stemmed from when I went through a really bad breakup and I had to find a place for my chickens. They literally lived in my vehicle with me for a while. Found a farmer who let me keep them in a small little section of a goat pasture. And so I would go out there and like my life was shit. It was bad. And I would be sobbing and they would do something. And I would ask myself like, how when I am so freaking unhappy, am I able to laugh right now?
Yeah.
And it's just that little bit of thing that like, when you pick one up and some want to be held, some don't. But like I have one I pick up and she just kind of snuggles in and I'm like, oh, I just love this. Like there's just something healing about being around them, watching them, whether they're just scratching for whatever in the dirt or, some treats you toss down or sitting on your lap or just looking at you like, what's up? Like
chicken. Yeah. I've never had good experience with chickens, but I can acknowledge whenever I go to like any kind of farmish thing or petting zoo thing, the chicken sound is very soothing. Have you noticed? Like there's just that and alpacas and the way they just hum. There's something really soothing about the way chickens sound. But I was attacked by a rooster as a kid. Me and chickens.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm good. You have your chickens. I've got my cats. We'll call it a day.
Yeah, you can stand the outside of the fence. It's fine.
But I can totally acknowledge. I mean, and the thing is, like, yes, cats are wonderful, but chickens, they're not naturally pets, so they're a little closer to the earth. They're a little closer to, there is something special about that, and yeah, I mean, I feel like we just.
They each have their own little chickenality.
Chickenality. Yeah. Oh my God, that's great. And look, can we just talk about chicken people for a second? There are people who are really all about chicken. Like you are, I guess you're more of like overall farm. But there are people who are really like chickens are their thing. And I mean, like I'm a crazy cat lady. There are chicken ladies for sure.
Yeah. There's people who live with their chickens. Like they live in their house.
Oh my god. Okay, did you ever see, I think there's a documentary about, I think it's called Chicken People,
I
where
think
they,
so.
yeah, with the show chickens. Oh
Hmm.
my god.
Oh
That
yeah.
it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. There's a couple people who are a little more obsessed with their chickens and their children. I got some questions about that, but otherwise it makes me
Right.
so
Yeah.
happy. These people are just so in love with their chickens.
Right. I was picking up some stuff 2 weeks ago at the local farm store for the chickens, and I noticed there's now in this farm store a rack of clothing options for your chickens: hats,
Um,
dresses. My hens would eat that crap. They'd be like, first of all, cluck to the no. Second of all, not happening. Like, we will eat this. Thank you for our delicious snack. Good luck finding it when you get back in a couple of hours.
I have so many questions.
No.
I
Now, when I lived in town, I did consider getting them a little chicken harness with a leash so they could free range in the backyard. I settled for putting a little rope around their leg and they were fine. So I did not, but I will admit I considered, but I reined myself in.
I can't imagine me. I don't know why that just did me in, dude. I'm just imagining you walking your chicken.
I had one that I could have. Her name was Toopy.
Oh, that's amazing. I can't fathom it, but that is so cute.
But I never did. And I do have people who'll message me and be like, oh, look how cute sweaters for your chickens. I'm like, first of all, don't tempt me. Second of all, they'll eat it. So I can't do it.
I can't. I'm just okay. So I have a costume that I keep as a punishment for the cats.
Nice.
It was a $5 Halloween costume, and whenever they're getting a little too rowdy, I will put the lobster costume on them,
That's
and
amazing.
that is the only thing that can punish a cat is humiliation, and it works fairly well. I'm not gonna lie. And then I take pictures, and they just look at me like, "Are you kidding me,
Right?
mother?"
Yeah.
And
I
I
know
will
you
like to
sleep.
say, "Don't make me get the lobster," and
That's a fantastic threat.
you know it works. But I don't as much. I definitely agree that animals were not meant to wear clothing, and yet they totally effing were.
Uh huh.
Like,
Yep.
I make no apologies. I will dress my cat up if they let me. Oh man, we had Chihuahua, and we always asked him if he wanted to get dressed, and he would get so excited to get his little bandana on. I was like, you know what?
Yeah, some of them like it. Bristol, my dog, she likes wearing her shirts and her sweaters. When it's cold, she loves wearing her sweater.
Yeah. Oh. So I feel like I don't know where we're at in this episode. We started talking about mushrooms and chickens wearing clothes, which actually kind of probably relates more than I'd like to think. But
You probably don't want to know about the porch goose.
no, that's got to go in the next episode. We're talking
Okay.
about the porch goose the next
We'll
episode.
talk about the perfect.
Okay,
Done.
then
All
we will
right.
see you guys next time. And like and subscribe to this if you want to hear more about the porch goose.
And on that note, we're going to wrap it up for this episode. To free yourself of overwhelm or to simply move things forward in your business, check out Tasklandia and download the app today. If you want to learn more about Chelsey and her services, go to chelsesalberthealing.com. To learn more about the Soul Restorative Retreat this August 6th through the 9th, go to farmgirlcamp.com/farm-retreats. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next one.
This episode is produced by Girl Boss Productions.